Hope I'll be able to read this.
You want any glasses?
I got some.
Okay, it's 4:30 PM on September 30th, 2025. This is the meeting of the Water Utility Board of Star Valley Ranch. We call the meeting to order. In attendance are myself, Steve Crandall, the chairman, Lee Hansen, a member of the board, Boyd Sidaway, a member of the board. We do have a quorum of 3. From the town council, we have Taylor Ellis here, and we have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I sent you the minutes of the last meeting. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the meeting to approve the minutes of the meeting held August 19th, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Question
Yes.
on item 7. Is it appropriate for us to ask questions as the liaison is reporting, or would you like to just report and let us wait till the
Doesn't matter to me.
so we can interrupt you a little bit
Sure.
intentionally?
I think that's entirely appropriate, so. Okay, update from council liaison.
Simply stated,
Yeah,
contract has been signed. They are building the program as we speak.
And what?
Contract has been signed.
And
They are building the contract as we speak.
building the program?
The program, not the contract. I apologize. We know what the contract is.
What you been doing?
The leftovers of the anesthesiology from yesterday that I didn't get.
I can believe it.
Okay? They're building the program as we speak. We should be having that up within a month and a half, 2 months. We should be going.
Question.
Sure.
On the program, when they build it, you're saying that, is that for the operational part of SCADA?
The whole operation of our entire water system.
Will be, that's what they're building. Are they gonna do anything on I'm interested on the data that's collected.
Once the system is completely built, we will be able to have access to whatever data comes out of the SCADA system at that point.
Is anybody asking them to make sure something comes out of it, or are
Yep.
we just gonna wait for them to
No,
tell us?
it's gonna come out of it.
There was
We will have it.
there was an indication in the town workshop that we already had the program, but that's,
No, we signed the contract, and that was the
okay.
extent of it.
I couldn't hear really good, but I thought it said we had the program, but we don't yet.
And-
Is that a month and a half?
When do we expect the program?
As soon as they get it built,
No, I mean,
they're working on it right now.
Is that a week to do it, or a week, a month, or a year?
I'm not sure where we are in their priority list as to what it is. Once it's built, we've got to put 5 remote pieces in, and once those are installed and the software is up and running, then we will be able to see everything that is going on in the system as it exists at that point in time.
Okay, just one last concern.
Sure.
Those 5 things they're putting in,
Yep.
can we do that in the middle of winter?
Yep.
Okay.
It's not a problem.
So we're
Will
not
it
gonna
look
be,
like the one we had?
No, it's gonna be a whole lot simpler to deal with. Visually, you're gonna see the pumps in the green cane tank, the 3 tanks, etc., and how it is, so that part will be similar. There will be additional information, because we're debating whether or not we're gonna add the PRV valves to it.
do it,
So the data,
just do
the
it.
data points will be there where the meters are and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Our guys are spending a lot of time, I understand, monitoring those PRVs. It's crazy not to put those in.
The downside on the PRVs monitoring right now is the electricity. And we've got to look at the solar panels was talking with Trevor about that today, the solar panels and the batteries to run them.
Yeah.
And then there's the winter time, so we gotta make sure that the batteries have sufficient capacities to keep things going, otherwise we gotta send somebody out to wipe off the panels,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I just, you know as well as I do, that's a time waster for our guys right now. I understood it was a monthly project until I found out that it's almost daily.
Depending
so-
on which ones go down. and-
Yeah, so I would recommend very strongly that we don't consider it, figure out how to do it, you know,
Scott's working on that as we speak,
okay?
okay?
What's the cost of the system? Any idea?
You saw that?
Is it a savings over our old system?
Yes, it is. All right, where did I put the contract?
How are you?
Pull up the check.
Hold the chair, I'm gonna sit back here.
No,
Man, you guys. Sorry I'm late.
we wanna see your face. It makes me nervous. Mr. Chairman, can I interrupt the meeting for just a minute? I'd like to have you meet David Roberts.
Hello, Dick.
David's a waterman. He spent his career in waters. Could you just take 2 seconds and give us a brief background of your
Sure.
life's history? And wait just a second till Dan gets in.
Sorry, guys.
Just so I introduce everybody, this is our chairman,
Okay.
Steve Crandall. Taylor Ellis is the councilman, who is our liaison between us and the Dale.
Okay.
Dan Stewart, who is a full-fledged water operator up in Jackson, and a
Hello.
part-time
Sure.
member down here.
Yeah.
And you know Lee, and you know me.
Very good, and this is?
And, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you walk in here.
The other council.
The other council, we have two
Yeah, two
liaisons.
council liaisons.
We're,
Water's kind of important.
no, we're so rowdy, they take two
Well,
of
they,
them.
they want to monitor you.
Just talked about Simply SCADA is the only thing we've talked about.
Oh,
So
You
anyway,
probably know everything about that.
It's a
Dave
good
and
one.
I were golfing together a couple of months ago, and he started telling me all the things he's been involved in water. And I said, maybe we ought to look at you as one of our advisories. We have a water board, but we also have a water board members involved. And then we have a lower level as far as voting, but a higher level of knowledge. So we can bring in to our water board, people with special skills
Okay.
that help augment and
Sure.
supplement us. And what he's been doing in his life would be an augment and supplement, I think, for most of us. So you go ahead and tell him
Sure,
just a little bit.
so I'm from Arizona, lived down there for 45 years, just moved up here last September, so I've only been here a year. I live over on Alpine Way. And I retired from, a company called Salt River Project in the Phoenix area. If you've ever been down in the Phoenix area, they are the largest utility in that area, serve water and power. But they started out as a company that contract with the federal government to operate the Salt River Federal Reclamation Project, the same kind of reservoir that we have down here at Palisades. So I worked for SRP from 1986 through 2022, so 36 years there, and worked my way up all the way to be the top executive when I retired in 2022. So, and most of my time was spent in water resource management, dealing with state regulators, working on water permits, water rights, negotiating water settlements with tribes, non-Indians, environmental interests, things of that nature. Was responsible for operating 7 dams and reservoirs, and was involved in acquiring some new resources, new reservoirs as well. A lot of agreements that I negotiated, and right now I'm retired, but they've called me to help them down there, so I spend about 5 to 8 hours a week helping a couple of clients down there. I have another one today, helping some clients just deal with some water rights issues. It's more water rights issues that I'm dealing with right now down in that area. But when I talked to Boyd a little bit about it, I just said, listen, if I can be helpful in any way, just another eyes and ears on documents that you guys are reviewing, if you're dealing with state regulators, whether it's, is it Fish and Game here or Game and Fish?
Game and fish.
It's Game and Fish, it's Game and Fish down in Arizona as well, but some places it's Fish and Game. Or, state of Wyoming, you know, state of Wyoming Water Resources Department, if you have a Water Resources Control Board. If you're dealing with irrigation districts downstream, or whatever it might be. So, I'm here to help however I can.
Okay,
Just be a resource
Thank you.
in some fashion, all right?
well, I'm from Tucson,
Oh, okay.
and my dealings with the Salt River project was to water ski on their lakes, so.
On the other surface,
Yeah, we didn't have to be responsible for that, but we kept the reservoirs full so people
Yep.
could do that. All right, very good.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, status of leak detection,
Hold on a minute, back to the question on what it's costing us. I'm sorry, apparently did not bring the contract,
okay,
but we had it at the last meeting. So, should be,
let me talk to the leak detection item. Boyd called the leak detection people in Montana, and they are out of that business. They are supplying leak detection equipment, but they don't do it in the field anymore. But they highly recommended this group in Ogden, are two single moms that formed their own company, and because they couldn't properly take care of their children working for other companies, so they basically work every other week, and every other week they're with their children. But they were highly recommended, have good references, and submitted a very, very good bid. I think the budget is for $50,000. They submitted a bid for $11,500 for leak detection, and they described their process, and it's in the hands of administration right now, and it doesn't look like, I just got an email from Trevor, it doesn't look like it's going to happen this year at all. It'll be next spring before they get them signed up.
have you discussed that in council?
I was told that we weren't ready to do it, so I don't know if it was because they wanted to do all the water lines, get them completed for this year and do it next year, I'm not sure why, but that's what I was told.
We're confused as to why the town's not going to do it.
Well, I'm confused why you guys did it. Why you guys,
Nobody else is doing it?
no, they are, actually, that's Trevor's job.
Well, the mayor,
I disagree because
mayor
he's-
asked me to look into
Yeah,
it.
he's putting,
To hire somebody and.
No, not hire somebody, to look at
look at a contract and see what we can do.
who would do it.
And we found
When did they
somebody.
do that?
Hmm?
When did she do that?
Oh, it's been a month probably.
At least.
So when somebody reached out and said they already brought the material here and were ready to do it, is that what that was, or?
No, this has just been,
That precipitated out of that problem.
yeah,
And we found somebody, and all it would take would be one individual from the water department, correct?
One day,
well, they work at night,
no. The
And so-
proposal said it would do it at night, and it would take them at least a week.
that's the contractor. The involved, it also says down in a little further in the contract, in the bid, not the contract, the bid, that it would take one water operator one night to turn the valves on and off.
yeah.
And other than that, we're not even involved in it. This isn't us doing it. It's contracting.
Well, and that's what I'm telling you, so they do know, Trevor's told me that they're not ready to do it until next spring.
Yeah,
And we don't understand why.
Okay, I
The note we got said they were too busy.
Well-
can give you,
But who's too busy?
I can give you my reason as to why I would oppose it at this point in time.
Okay?
I very much appreciate the fact that you found somebody that can do it. But we have 3 problems before we know if we have a leak. One, the inflow meters, we don't know if they're working. We know one of them is completely disconnected. 2, the SCADA system we are currently using is not reading properly or doing anything correctly. And 3, we don't know what water's going out due to the residential meters. Once we get those things done, then we can figure out whether or not there's a potential for a leak.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
The residential meters, it's gonna cost this town, what, almost $1 million before we're through if we count installing
About
and
five hundred
everything.
thousand.
This is $11,500, 1/5 of what we budgeted for.
But do we
And
know
that-
there's a leak?
Well, just let me give you a couple of thoughts for a minute. Your meters have gotta be out over 100%,
The local ones.
the local ones, before you can say it's residential. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a meter out there in the residential that's not working, but I'm saying if you've got 1,200 meters, and I think I'm putting 1,000 gallons in and I'm billing 500, those meters would have to be running at 50% of what should be there. All of them, every one of them.
And some of them are brand new.
So that says the meters maybe should be a little bit later.
Have you seen the box downstairs of meters that have failed completely? They're reading zero as water's going through them.
I can believe it, but we look at our billing and how many meters are zero out of the 1,200?
That I can't answer because I haven't seen the billing,
Well, it's
the
available,
individual billing pieces.
it's available and it's been given to you.
Age,
Full of sand or they're
age.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that are down there have got a 2009 build date on them.
And you said some meters are not hooked, some of our big inflow meters are not hooked up?
There's one that is totally disabled
How did we find that out now and
because
not
we
know it?
went up and looked at them.
Which one is it?
I'm not sure which one it is.
But we count for 4 input is 3 pumps. And then,
And
Correct.
we've been getting
we're
readings
getting
on.
readings on them.
And you've got one reading that you've been getting that has not changed in 2 years.
That's not an inflow meter.
That's a meter that's not working,
Correct, I agree with you.
okay?
We don't know if we're dumping it on the ground up there because of overflow meters. Yeah, I agree with that one.
Okay, I think,
I'm just saying that, go ahead.
yeah,
I'll be-
I think the decision is made and whatever
Yeah,
our
there's no
disagreement is,
sense.
it's not gonna make a
It's
difference,
not on
so.
somebody's schedule.
That's
so
Trevor's
we're gonna
call
do it.
and we should just respect that,
Yeah.
this is what he decided, so. Water outage on Elkhorn and North Clark, was that,
Okay, that was, remember when we were talking, 3-4 months ago? We found out that we had a 3-inch pipe or 3/4 inch pipe, went up Elkhorn, coming down that was dead ended.
Yeah,
We decided it was time to put a backflow meter on that one. That was contracted to Avil to do that last week. When they dug down to put the backflow meter in, they found out that the company that put the line on going down Muddy Stream did not torque the bolts down holding
yeah.
the hot piece in, and it blew up.
Oh, it blew up when they're digging it?
When they were digging down and took the dirt from around it, it blew out.
Yeah.
And that took 3 days to get fixed and get straightened around. That was what happened on that one.
This just blows my mind, it's just a comment. But we've had contracts doing this. We've had engineers required to have an engineer or an associate on
On-site.
overseeing. And we used to have a water operator on-site watching the on-site engineer watch the on-site deal. And we're getting all this crap, how can that happen?
Somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Like 2 or 3 people?
Yeah. Well, remember we started running into problems with coliform bacteria directly after the 2000 project was finished. I still have questions as to what was done there.
Or was it done, if any? Yeah.
Yep.
Dig a trench and cover it up and call it good.
Intended all along, that it's come from there. But that
Just-
had to be leaking too, if the bolts weren't tight, and you just said we don't even know if we're leaking, but there's an instance where we were.
Wasn't that the same issue we had down on 4 and 5,
No.
was the bolts were loose?
No, 4 and 5 was a rock, was in the seal when they tightened it down.
Okay, so they did tighten it, it is just,
It didn't take the rock out.
yeah.
Okay, what about chlorination? You've got-
Okay, we are currently chlorinating, and we are chlorinating at 0.1. Now, here's your fun problem.
Dose of 0.1 or residual 0.1?
We're hoping for residual at 0.1, okay?
I hope so too, but do you know for sure?
Well, we started, what, week and a half ago? So the meter, the checking is coming in now. Here's your next piece of information that you probably don't want to hear. We had a second failure, so we got hit with a level 2 review. The individual contractor came up here and did the inspection on September the 15th. And we have not seen the results of that report yet, because it goes to the EPA, then it comes back to us. Now, we're voluntarily going at 0.1, hoping we can get the EPA to back off. When they did it last time, they were 0.2. If we fail again, the word says we're gonna go to 12.0 on residual. Well, that's the information.
4.0 is the MCL.
Okay, 4.0, we could go as high as 4.0.
Yeah, I just want to.
Yeah, the EPA person that we were talking to has basically said, my goal is to make you chlorinate your water. Now, going further on that, on September 18th or 19th, there was a power outage that we didn't know about because it took the router out from Silver Star. And it shut everything down in the SCADA system. We got lucky. And then we had to go up and check on something else and found both freighter tanks down to about 3 feet of water in them. Green Canyon tank down to 3 feet, 2 or 3 feet of water. That all got restarted and got back up. But in order to bring it back up, we had to turn on all the pumps, all 3 pumps. Now that leads to the next 2 problems that we cropped up with. While the tank was low on the small Freighter Canyon tank, checking inside of it, water is dripping down from the roof of the tank. That tank, the top was resurfaced. The seam through the center of the tank is failing.
When was that resurfaced? Just a question.
10 years, 15 years ago, something like that?
Probably can.
10 or 15?
It was during the time of the bigger one. And so it's probably been closer to 15, I guess.
15?
Just a flat Firestone roof?
The old tank didn't have any kind of release when you overfill it.
Didn't have an overflow.
And we were doing this with
Flow on the roof.
So when we patched the sides, they had it all done at once, so I'm guessing 15.
It's in here somewhere, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
That tank is 50 years old. So it's,
I used to say it was rock solid, but it's sand solid, it sounds like.
I'll get to that one here in a minute.
So what's the remedy for that? We have to have it resurfaced again?
Take it
Or
offline.
replace.
Nope. At the same time, it turned out that the airstrip pump would only pump 35 gallons per minute.
How much?
35 gallons per minute. Turned out, that was a SCADA problem. Once we got a hold of Jesse and got back up here, got inside the pump house and reset some numbers, we got it back to 300.
Well, that thing's been off for a year.
Right, they turned up the VFD.
Turned up something in there. I was not involved in that project. So that's where it was. Now, the Prater tanks were cleaned on, September the 20th and 21st
This year.
of this last month. Now, we got some interesting information out of that. Calcium buildup on the tank of the small tank, this seam is massive. There's rust on pipe on the floor of the surface rust from the spring on the small tank. Plastic repairs in the side of tank and outside. Concrete is pitting the side of tank and back way east on the east side. Top overflow is a 6-inch pipe. It's down far enough on the pipe that you have a tank that is now, and the walls on the tank are 8 inches. So by the time you take that into consideration and get down to the top of the pipe, on that one, that's a 9-foot depth in that tank. That tank will fill at full up to the overflow meter, 132,491.99 gallons. That's all we've got in that tank. Now the bigger surprise, the large Prater tank. Again, that's an 8-inch piece going into it. And it's a 16-inch overflow pipe in that tank. That's 5 inches down from the top of the tank. That drops the maximum water depth of that tank to 14.25 feet. And here's your bigger surprise. That tank has 4 36-inch columns going from floor to ceiling. That cuts your tank size on that tank down to 357,000 gallons, 298.74 gallons full.
What did you say the small one was capacity now is 101?
132.4, so we're about 500,000 gallons, period.
We're just about half what we thought we had.
132,471 on the small and 357,928 on the large one.
So that's 480,000 up there, and Green Canyon is 500. It's not too far.
We thought we had more than that, so maybe we didn't. I don't know.
Okay, now, so we move to the Green Canyon tank. The company that is coming in to resurface the Green Canyon tank was here last week. Green Canyon tank is seeping so bad, they can't do the outside of the tank until after the interior is done.
That makes more sense for the logic.
Yep, the interior of the tank is done on the end of October of this year. They are planning on coming back once the temperature gets up in the spring to do the outside of the tank.
Well, unless we run it down to 3 feet, having a full tank or near full tank kind of negates having the outside done anyway.
Yep.
So how big is the Green Canyon tank?
Well, you're gonna lose, I don't know, you've got 8 inches of the wall thickness, and then you're gonna lose another 3 inches. So that's gonna put at least 11 inches of outside.
Do we
Space.
know the dimensions now, so we can calculate the volume?
Nope, that's not gonna be done until they go in to seal up the inside of the tank. That one was not inspected. Okay?
Has our town engineers got all those numbers? Okay.
Yep. All kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, those are,
Yes, sir.
How much does your water demand go down in the winter?
Massive, because we've got about 40% of our population are only here in the summer.
Right, okay,
Up by half, probably.
about half, so
So, fingers crossed,
you can make it through.
we're gonna be okay at the end of October. And it'll take about 3 weeks for the stuff to set up.
So do we have a a bladder or something up there, is it to use, to pump out of?
Right now, they are thinking, they're working on a way that can all be handled out of Prater.
There is a way to do
I'm waiting to see the,
it. I live on probably the only road that's really under question.
but that's what, I think, that's what the plan is at this stage.
If you look at the PRVs, they can come around with that. The only question I have personally, because I'm not an engineer, is I'm trying to figure out where the backflow from that tank gets up into our area. Because we're really close to Green. I'm just down the hill from Green a little bit. So that would be the only question.
The engineers are supposedly working on that one.
From what you tell me though, if all this crap is happening on our tanks, what's happening on our lines? Didn't give you much
And we'll tell.
confidence, does it?
You know, and confidence on the lines went south this week.
But the pumps pump into the lines, and so if Prater tanks need to be filled without Green Canyon tank, that probably won't happen,
No,
other than by the spring.
no, you can refill, once the pressure builds up on this side, it'll still go through the delivery line up to Prater Canyon.
So it has to go backward through a PRV up to the, I see
But
definite problems with that unless we have a bypass
well, the problem,
around the
My
PRVs.
question is, do we have like an altitude valve that's opposite the PRV to, is that what we have to supply the water around, or?
No,
Okay, I can see
no
that.
clear. I'm leaving that up to the engineers.
but if they're pushing it around, if this guy's on the bottom of it, you gotta push it back up this guy, you'll blow all their hot water heaters out when you do that.
But
Supposedly they're gonna solve it.
But the tanks, I mean, the pumps can backfill out as easy. I mean, I was on a water system in Washington, and we had a small bladder. That was just to keep it from, hammers.
Hammering.
But we had just nothing more than a pump, pressurize the system, as it get low, we turn it back on again.
I'm assuming they're gonna come up with some solution
Because we're doing it now, we're just using the tank as the buffer.
as the buffer. Yeah. Now, the problem that cropped up this week,
it's, don't you think we should probably solve that problem before we start lining Green Canyon?
I'm waiting for the engineers to come in with, Lee.
Yeah,
It's not in my area.
yeah. Well, it is kind of,
No, I'm not an
Mr.
engineer, I'm sorry.
Mr. Liaison.
Is your engineer not a town employee,
He is
He is
not
not.
contract.
contract engineer?
Yep.
What's the name of the firm?
Forest
Forest Grid,
Forest Grid.
Forest Grid Engineering.
Forest Grid Engineering.
Where they, out of Idaho Falls? or
Forest Grid Associates out of Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake.
So that's what I can bring up now. There was a need to install a valve, a new meter on Snow Forest. We found a pipe today,
Where?
3 feet in private property, down 12 feet on the private property, which makes it 8 feet below the road grade. We have no equipment that can dig that deep to install meters. Turns out that it's not only on Snow Forest, it's on Walnut, and one other one. So we have a potential problem.
When you look at what they dug up there, I would be really careful. I would make sure my water board and road board and road people watch that backfill. That's all
Yep,
dirt.
I know.
There's nothing but dirt. No rocks, no nothing.
Nothing.
They've dug up, it looks like a Chinese maze where they're dug.
And it's
And it's
road
wide
width
and it's deep.
deep.
They were down to 16 feet or something the other day?
Yep. They went down 20 feet and then they went sideways to try and find it. So the as-bills are not anywhere close.
You better be darn careful if you put men in something that deep,
It's the reason it's so wide.
But it's dirt.
Yep,
but it's dirt.
yeah, I
And
saw the
still-
picture of
Still,
it
it's
today.
all class C soil,
Yeah.
so sloping is.
We got a guy that's on medical leave for life
Yep,
that got crushed here at our town.
it was nowhere near that depth.
And it was, yeah, his head was above level, I think.
So that's one you got on that one.
Should we go on to the water projects?
That is part of the water
That
project.
is part of the water project.
The
Yeah.
water projects are, we're now down to the last water project, we're at the punch list. And that's
Cool.
going to be interesting, to say the least.
Can we go back to chlorination for 1 second?
Sure.
You said the EPA, his goal was her goal was to make sure we chlorinate the rest of our life.
Yep, that's her goal.
Why? Can she explain why she is taking that position?
Evidently, it's going nationwide. You probably have already dealt with it, right?
Yes. So the state doesn't have jurisdiction over water quality, EPA has it? Has the
No.
state ever tried to get jurisdiction?
They don't want
What?
it, they don't really
They
want
don't
it.
want it?
EPA has primacy.
I know EPA has privacy, but still, it's a pain in the ass.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's well stated.
So back to the water project?
Back to the chlorination. The new chlorination systems have been ordered, they should be here later this week or next week, so that we can, what we had is not working.
The
And I'll
chlorination
put one
is,
back down here then. This will be reinstalled, or
Yep.
whatever you wanna call it.
What happened to that? Was it taken out? or-
I have no idea.
Probably didn't work, so they threw it away.
the chlorination is needed because of coliform or what? What?
Yeah, coliform, we failed some
Total
tests.
chloroform.
And one of the tests we failed was at the Prater Canyon tank, which is probably from the leak coming out of the
All
top.
right, so that was the source. I mean, if you work on the source, then you get rid of the chlorination issue.
That's the intent, that's why it's
That's why
going
you're-
right
All
there.
right.
Have they mentioned at all that we get water from a spring, which is considered a
Especially
surface
since you're
water?
pumping. I mean,
Well,
it's
the
probably
spring came up
water, right?
It's a but the spring surfaces.
Right.
But
So,
the spring was positive too.
Our spring is tapped back in the mountain, it
Okay.
never comes out on the surface. We're not like after.
gotcha.
Somehow,
But
It seems like if the roof is leaking in one of the Prater tanks, are we taking it out of service or are we fixing it? That ought to be primary before we line Green Canyon.
Well, is it worth,
We don't have
Fix
a
it.
budget for it.
Well, it hasn't been brought forth to the council, like this is the first time I'm hearing about it, so, yeah.
it was found out last week.
Well, either way, the rest of us didn't know about it,
Yeah.
so.
So, and it's the seam across the center of the tank.
That's not a huge deal to fix, I wouldn't think.
I don't know, I'm looking
If you look at the flex.
at Gorilla stuff and Flex stuff.
Fix it.
I used some of that on my daughter's roof and it worked on that, but I don't know about the other one.
but why would coliform come through the top of the tank?
Animals?
Unless animals are sitting on top of the tank?
It's ground level, not ground
Oh,
level,
it's ground
but
level,
it's,
okay.
you know, it's,
I'm not familiar enough with all the, I need to go out and look at
It's
everything.
not necessarily fecal coliform, it's
Yeah,
just
right.
total coliform.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. Boy, you need to take me on a tour with the Pine Knoll Water System.
you're on. I'd be delighted to.
Anything else on water project?
Oh, yeah, well, not a water project, but I gotta go back to something you got later. We covered the Prater tank issues. Calibration of the larger water meters. Turns out they can't be calibrated. They can be verified, but they can't be calibrated.
Surprise.
The new meters are ordered. They should be
Good
here
for you,
shortly.
good for you.
Can't be calibrated because you don't have enough distance in the pipes to do it?
Evidently, whatever meters are on there, there's no adjustments on them.
Oh my gosh.
If you got the new ones on order, here.
The new ones are on order. We have found a source that will buy the old meters and take them into their lab and
Retrofit.
retrofit them, validate them, and get them out of here.
Do we put them, are we planning on doing our own meter installation, or are we gonna hire it out?
I don't know, I think,
Do you know how much money the meters are gonna cost us versus your budget?
yeah, we're coming in under budget.
Could I recommend that you recommend that we hire it done so we can get it done? Our guys are up to their ears, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
it's,
This idea that I'm too busy to do.
our
what
guys
we
are
need to do.
going crazy.
Yeah, I would recommend very strongly that the council do that, personally, if you would,
I'll boss them around as much as I can, boy.
please.
Okay?
Well, it only takes one more person other than you two to get it done.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You said that the company that's sending new meters will retrofit the
No,
old meters?
we have a source that we can sell the old meters to, that will then,
Right, but
In
they'll
order-
make them functional again?
well, they've got, the way it was done from the research I've got, is you got a big lab with a big tank up on top, the known amount of water, that they then flush through the meters, and then they do whatever they need to do to make them work correctly.
So could one of those come back as a spare or something?
We bought a spare.
Huh?
We bought a spare.
Bought a spare, too.
Every meter's different though, unfortunately.
Did Ryan ever get us a list of system components?
The system components was the one you got last monthly meeting. Came electronically and listed every street on in the town, what was put on it and when it was put in.
I haven't seen
We
that.
haven't seen that.
Okay?
So that, you said we're getting new meters, does that include the one on Green Canyon that's supposed to read, upflow and backflow?
Everything is getting redone.
Super. That will help put some credibility into what we've been discussing. But if we're not gonna, well, hopefully we'll get the skate in early enough we can get some data.
That's what I was gonna say. SCADA may get here before the meters are in, way down delivery date. Then we can run down, and once the meters are put in, then we will at least know how much water is coming into the system.
Sure. Yeah,
But as of right now, I don't trust those numbers at all.
well, and until we do, I understand, but it's,
I'm trying.
I understand.
Well, with all the new pipes, your loss in account for water ought to go down. That'd be pretty good.
So you,
Wait a minute, when we were up here before, our efficiency level was in the teens. We made it up to somewhere between 50 and 30, or 50 and 80, depending, no, 50 and 70, depending on who you believe. So we're heading in the right direction, but we just gotta get over that hump.
We're growing up.
Yeah.
so are you getting emails that I send out with the agenda and minutes and everything?
I got the one, this last one you said,
Okay,
with the agenda. I got those.
okay, check my email address on there against
Okay.
where you sent that other one.
Will
And,
do.
cause we haven't seen that, but it's a complete list of
It's by street.
by street.
It says,
Just what
the
we
street was
want.
done on this night, here's the PRV valves, here's what's in it, here's the size of the pipe, here's where it goes, the whole bit.
Okay,
And we were supposed to GPS all that stuff.
Yes,
We're putting it
we
in.
are,
And if we can't GPS it 18 feet below,
okay, now here's the next issue on the GPS. They bought a GPS system. So you go in and measure where it is. Unfortunately, that one did not work with the GPS system on the town that shows where everything is. That's already gone back, the new one has been ordered.
You said they, is that
can I ask this, who's in control of this mess?
That one was ordered by our water people, and they didn't price it up. And Ryan came in and spent about an hour trying to make it work. Said, nope, this one goes back, this is what you order.
Good.
We will get there, I hope. Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Now, as part of the inventory and system, you handed out at the last board meeting or the one before, a draft of operations manual outline for rural water systems. We're gonna need that because it turns out that all three of our pumps are approaching 10,000 hours. They've got to be, whatever needs to be done to them, needs to be done to them, and I can guarantee you, our water staff doesn't know what that is.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
Well, you pull them and send them in, get new impellers and whatnot.
Well,
You
then,
gotta check spider coupling, you gotta check. I mean,
So does the administration want us to,
But you have to pull
Get
them
that
at a time.
information.
We would
They
love
have
it.
them.
okay, mostly on the pumps?
well, that's the first priority. But the whole rest of the system, nothing has literally been done on maintenance on the system as far back as I can find.
Okay.
Can't be true.
We will need to know the manufacturer and
Well, let
what
me
model
rephrase that.
numbers and things.
Frame numbers on motors and, you know, size of motors.
Yeah,
Sure.
let me
pump
rephrase
size,
it.
Bowls, everything.
Ernie said he had a manual when he was here, and Ernie left 8 years ago. So we may have had stuff going on 8 years ago. That manual cannot be found. It is not in any of the metal boxes or any of the file cabinets. Odds are good it was in one of the cardboard boxes that was thrown on the fire.
Yeah. Was his manual the maintenance of the pumps request? That probably would be one of the easier ones to replace, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's just a matter of contacting the manufacturer of the pumps and asking them for their maintenance manual.
you can look them up online.
And
Yeah.
check what
Dimes
those-
to donuts, they're US motors,
Yeah.
our inverter turbines.
So if
and
we've
then
got
they're-
that list of what it says it is, and it says it, we can look it up and dump it, format it, and give it back to you.
We found pump curves on all of our pumps, so that data exists.
Oh, yeah, I think,
Terry found that.
yeah, Terry went online, I'm sure, and found that. And Terry
It should
should
be
be
in each pump house.
I wouldn't guarantee you what's in any pump house.
if it's not in the
Well,
box,
this
it's not in
seems
the.
like things have deteriorated.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, stuff is,
Well, open your eyes and look around.
yeah. You don't wanna know about that pump house.
I've heard of so many stories, and
What about it?
now we gotta start believing them, right?
What
You
about it?
better believe them. The jury rigging on the wires that were blowing stuff out, and the fact that the generator would not turn on,
They were waiting for parts on that. So,
no,
It's probably Honda virus in there too.
somebody came in that thought they knew what they were doing, and never mind. Those employees are no longer with us, is all I can tell you,
Okay.
okay? I think I'm done.
Thank you, David.
I like you got another half an hour.
Well, we want to get back to meeting an hour. Well, in a few minutes, we gotta let's talk a little bit about reserves. I'm gonna pass those.
Thank you.
And this is taken from chapter 52 of the town code, which defines the different reserves. And Wade is now, has a part of the financial statements where he lists the balance of those reserves. And I put that in the far right column as of 8/31. We should have an update on that pretty soon when he gets the September one out. But all of these have some type of objective. That first one, the sinking fund, is just for repairs and maintenance of the system. And it has that minimum balance of $500,000, and we have about $534 in it. Water system reserve, I imagine that's the one that most of our water projects is being taken out of this year. That's for repairs, upgrade, and replacement of water system components. The loan payment reserve
Do
is,
we know how much of that's committed?
For the budget committed all of it.
So
Well-
it's all committed, 1.9 is committed?
No.
no,
we
that's
have-
what's in the fund.
You committed 2.7.
What's that?
Well, we've used some of, this is. up
Yeah,
to
some has
date.
been used.
No, I
Yeah, this is-
understand that, but I'm
If you
saying
look at,
it's all
look at the
committed.
total down there,
I don't believe it is.
Wade said that at the end of June of this year, the totals of all the balances was about 4 million, and we're down to 2.9, so some of it has been used.
3 million's been used.
It's been allocated, I'm not sure it's been used yet.
Yeah,
Well, if we had 4 and you're at 3, we'd
But
use
the lining of the tank is 500, right?
Yep,
And these meters will be,
that's all part of the budget, and it came out of the operating. It's both the reserve and operating.
okay, the loan payment reserve is what, from the fees, the part of it that is to pay off loans goes into, we don't pay monthly payments on the loans, they're yearly payments, and they happen at different times of the year, so you have to accumulate. I think around August is the worst
Yeah.
time of year for payments, there's like 3 or 4.
I went through that calculation, and we've got a buffer in there.
Yeah, well, the total yearly payments is about 681,000. And so that's where the monthly fees go into to prepare to make those payments. Planned investment reserve is, I couldn't find a balance on that, and that's probably appropriate because that's for if we were ever to annex, like a subdivision or something, or if a developer wants us to provide water. And the code says, if you look at the description of this planned investment reserve, says that they will pay for their infrastructure. And that's where this money would go, is into this, in this fund. Capital equipment reserve is accumulate funds for future acquisition of water department equipment, and then facility reserves is for physical facilities, and there's only 20,000 in there. The thing that struck me the most, if you look at the second from the right column, is, the source of funds. The sinking fund is water fees, water system reserve is tap fees and excess funds from water operations. The loan repayment we know comes from fees. Capital equipment, excess funds from operations, facility reserve, there's not much in there, it comes from water fees, but, the sources are, my impression is, if you look at tap fees and excess funds from operations, is they're not consistent. We've got 33 permits out there right now, and that could take 2 years before you tap all of those, but, we could have 10 in a year. To fund this water system reserve, which is where most of our repairs and upgrades come from, struck me that, excess funds from operation is not a consistent thing. It's more wishful thinking. How do we get consistent contributions to these funds so that we can plan on paying for, known upgrades to the system?
planned investment fee, we used to, that was part of our, rates, went into the planned investment. That's the one we were supposed to build up to about,
Well, I think that's gonna be the water system reserve.
Fee was for acquisition of outside properties.
Yeah.
Like subdivisions coming in.
we shouldn't,
That should
like
be
you
reserved.
just said, that should come if we decide to annex anything. They have the infrastructure already in place.
That's,
The town shouldn't build a fund for that.
no, I think it's mainly for,
That's what we used to call it.
whatever the agreement is, maybe we do the work, but they pay for it, I don't know. But, it's a little, but they are to pay for their own infrastructure to our standards, is what the code says.
When this was
Well,
written,
that's what,
they were trying to annex virtually raw ground into the town.
Yeah,
And we were to put our money and our water system in for them. And that was for this, so that we had a way of collecting enough money from the subdivision to actually pay for that. This was for expansion beyond the capacity of our current
Yeah.
system. That was the original intent.
well, the master plan calls for expansion at full build out,
yeah.
but,
Anyway, you know, if the water system reserve is going to be effective for us, and, you know, we've got $202.5 million coming out of there this year, that's what's planned. How do we get consistent funds to fund that reserve?
well, that was
It's
what
called rates.
Kristen did.
Hmm?
It's called rates.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely,
So your
but
lots should all be the same then, if you're doing that. Well, if it's about rates and our, non-metered lots are $28 and our other ones are, what are they at now, like 70 or 72, I think, or maybe?
64 something, I think.
I think we ought to be looking at 68,
I was gonna say, I think they're higher than
we're not
64.
70 yet, I
But-
don't think.
we were supposed to raise them both until the money that went into the system replacement reserve was
68.50.
equivalent.
Oh, I think-
both
okay.
from
And
the
there's the,
Is that
service
after this
availability
year?
and from the
28.50.
base fee.
Okay,
That was the plan, and Kristen was putting a certain amount into that reserve.
so I don't know if, you know, how funds are transferred or if they're being transferred, but, one thought is that, you know, we're spending $2.5 million this year, and the people that do not have meters that are surface availability fees are not participating in that. I mean, they're paying for loans, which is past development, and we've got new development of $2.5 million that we're paying out of cash reserves for, and they are not putting anything into that.
yeah, they have the same things available to them, so that's a good point. They have the same availability, they just don't have
Yeah.
meter pits, so yeah.
Went into the system replacement reserve. Yeah.
But all they're paying for is
The
past
base
loans, and if you
loan.
don't do a loan, it doesn't get put in
I
there.
agree, yeah,
As
the problem.
system
So,
availability fee to pay payments. We've always put, the rate was always based on what are our payments and what's an equal amount for every lot, with a water and without it. That's where we set the rates on those things.
And I have the numbers, if you were to bring that up to this, is quite a bit that we would gain
yeah,
per year.
Related question to what you're talking about. Ordinance says that you can only have 1 meter per lot. I combine lots, means I only have 1 lot. So that other fee goes away.
True. That's the reason they do it.
yeah,
That's the reason we said, when you wanna split it back and want to reinstall it, you've gotta go through, there's no guarantee. Number one, you will give you water, but if there is, you pay the plant investment fee.
Okay?
Which brings
Just
up.
wanted to make sure.
That plant investment fee
The question
is what
came up.
we ought to really address sometime soon. I have one more thought that I would like some input from the two of you. This year was the first year that we've identified an expense for the entire amount that was in the reserve. This is the first year that I'm aware of that we've had $4 million in cash. We shouldn't have $4 million in cash, it ought to be allocated somewhere. What is your feeling, because we're using the water system reserve for known projects? If there is a massive unknown, like you just articulated, there's no money anywhere for that. The unknown emergency fund used to be part of that system reserve. And it's not your fault, it's just the way you came in. unless there's a, feeling within the council that we're gonna save some of that money, not spend all of it, and keep it as an emergency reserve, maybe the best thing to do is to create another reserve called emergency reserve that says you can't touch it unless it's a catastrophe unknown deal.
Right,
Do you support that?
that makes sense to me.
Because if you support it, we need to start with a, ordinance that says, here's what you use, here's how you fund it.
Okay, now, one of the things that we're running up against is the lack of, proper planning in the past, because we've got to deal with the source line spring down. That's already in the budget, and we've got money allocated for it. The next problem that has cropped up that we've got to deal with is the Prater tanks. Now, we only own half an acre up there. So my fear is, are we gonna have to tear those tanks down to put another tank, to replace those tanks? That's the question that's already coming up, because there's not that much space up there.
You're correct on the space, but I doubt you would have 3 tanks up there. You would take the old one.
One or both of them have gotta come out.
The old one comes out and put a new one in.
Do a bypass system, take the other one out, put the other one in, and be able to, you should be able to run those tanks independently would be the,
Supposedly, there's something going between them. However,
you're ready.
you're gonna love this one. Because when we had the water out and started the pumps back up, we found a pipe 5 inches, 5 inches above the bottom of the tank that runs between the 2 tanks.
Straight, no valve, no nothing.
Straight.
No.
No, so there's no valve to isolate one tank?
Nobody's found one yet. Let's put it that way.
While you're talking about this stuff, in my mind, the new tank's up here, and the old tank's down here. And this has got a overflow down here. This has got an overflow up here. And I got a pipe that's making them both the same level. There would never be an overflow in the large tank because you can't get it that high in the first one.
You would hope.
Somewhere, this is one of those things when I hate to ask you, you wanna go up to Maine on a weekend when you've got a few minutes, drive up and look at what's up there and look at those elevations and look at the elevation overflows. If they're hooked together, they ought to be the same.
Along with that, Boyd, explain to me why the overflow pipe on the large Prater tank is 16 inches in diameter?
That's how you get rid of a lot of water, I guess. What's the size of the spring coming down?
On the overflow on the small one?
No, the spring, what's
The
the
spring
size?
6 inches,
How many?
maybe 8 inches,
We got a 6-inch overflow?
a 16-inch overflow.
Do the pumps only pump into the large crater tank?
No, the pumps are
Designed to
set
pump
of
in.
pumps.
Wells go into green.
Wells go into Green Canyon,
Yep.
and then from Green Canyon, I don't know.
We don't know,
Say that again, ask the question.
From the Green Canyon pumps, do they go to the big Prater tank or the small Prater tank? I'm guessing it's gonna be the big Prater tank, because they were built,
All the same time.
yeah.
which is
But
probably
I'm
the reason
guessing-
it's
Again,
16.
theoretically, it should go into the big tank.
I'm guessing on that.
But theoretically, there was underground piping that you could isolate either tank, as you said. Use either one or put either one of the house service
Yep.
and not interrupt service to the customers.
Okay, I think this shows us that we're going to experience lots of surprises.
Yeah.
But this is unbelievable, all at once.
Yeah,
No, it's because the system has not been taken care of,
yeah.
quite honestly. If it'd been taken care of all along, especially in the last 5 years, huge difference compared to what we're dealing with right
Or if you
now.
don't look, you don't find the problem.
But exact, well,
Now we're looking.
Or even
Keep your
know
eyes
what to
closed, you
look
won't find
for.
any problems.
mhm.
Yeah,
So-
unfortunately, you're right.
Let me just run an idea by you. Do we need to develop a system development fee to be applied to all lots, both metered and unmetered.
Well, it's a, you can include it or you can exclude it. I mean, you include it in just the regular base rate, everybody's paying it.
Well, the advantage of having it, I think, is that, you know, people know what they're paying for. That it's going to be for, you know, development and repair of the system. And,
But
it's
I
easy.
thought the other people were already paying for it, that already have a metered pit.
But you could reduce the base fee somewhat to offset.
Yeah, you
Does that make
could
sense?
add it or carve it out of what they're
You
paying
can add
now.
it to the service availability fee, or you can take it out of the base, but anyway, everybody still pays more money.
Yeah,
It's mirrors, unfortunately. Because we're not paying enough in the base fee to cover what we need to cover. And I don't know that you can raise the SEF fee enough. to
Which one's the
offset
S?
late- Huh?
Which one's the SEFB, sorry?
This-
that's the unmetered.
Oh, okay,
I'm sorry.
sorry, oh, no, it's okay,
Yeah.
I'm just wanting to make sure. Well, why can you don't think you can, you said?
No, I said, you can't do it without raising the rates. That's what's the, you can't do it. You
Well-
can do whatever we wanna do.
Yeah, so I don't understand the discrepancy between the unmetered lots and the metered lots, because they both have the same access. One hasn't tapped into it yet, but they still have the same access, so they should be paying
Okay.
for that.
Let me give you just a quick history, if I can give you quick, not be. In the beginning, the unmetered lots didn't pay anything.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And then we started, then the town council at that time said, no, they should pay for the base cost of the system. They're not using any of it, they're not touching any of it, they're not causing wear and tear, but they should pay for the fact that it's there when they want it and use it. And so that's where the service availability fee came in. And they said it will be no more, it will be attached to how much we pay in loan payment. It'll be a fair share so that if you're a base fee portion and the SAF fee will be identical for the payment. So every lot will pay the same. That's where we've ended.
Yeah,
So now, we've gotta go back to the vacant lots and say, well, we were only kidding in the beginning when we said this, we're not gonna add some more stuff to it. So that's gotta come out of the council's ability to say, we're gonna raise those fees and here's why.
Yeah,
So whether you, and then what I was saying is, base fees up here, it includes some of the costs we're talking about here, but not all of them. So you could reduce that by some amount and add that to the vacant lot fee, if that's what you wanna do.
to balance it all out. What,
And again, I have to agree with you, is that having it as a separate number keeps because you're gonna say, this is what I want. Then you're gonna get, somebody else is gonna come in and they're gonna say, well, we don't want that, we'll do this. So if you identify it up front as a separate fee, it's gonna be tougher to change. Not the amount, but to change the use of it for something else.
well, not only that, but whoever calculates the canoe rates have to address that.
That's right, yep.
And,
As a separate line item, rather than just as a subset.
and so it creates a workflow that kind of guarantees that you do the right thing,
Yes.
that you address present costs and future costs. And, plus it's easy for administration people to get a total of that fee and transfer it over to reserves.
and are you talking about doing an emergency fund and some of that going towards an emergency fund?
It could,
Well, it's
I
gotta
mean,
come
that's
from
what
somewhere.
I know, and that's what I'm saying, like, if you, to me, like, the only way to actually do it is to increase the unmetered lots. Or else your metered lots are gonna be, like, way too much money, even if you're moving around funds. And I don't feel like that's fair
Yep.
to punish residents when
Well,
they both
I'm
have
not
the
disagreeing
same.
with you.
But I mean, I don't know any other way to increase that
Until we
amount.
actually do some numbering, to see what the impact is.
Yeah, that-
That's another,
I can find-
we can talk about it.
I mean, well, and then, there was a discussion that I had with someone that they wanted the metered lots then to come down and the other lot, the unmetered ones to come up and meet in the middle. Well, you're not getting as much money, but then the unmetered lots, if you own an unmetered lot with a, metered lot, then you're only seeing like a $15 increase. So they're trying to justify that, and maybe that would at least allow in the future for us to still keep bringing more money in, but it wouldn't be quite as drastic of an amount. I mean, I don't wanna stick it to people, but at the same time, we have residents that are carrying the whole load at this point, so unless the or unmetered lots take over some, it's gonna continue that way.
Your water bills, do you itemize what some of the costs, or some of the payments are for?
Just the base fee and then
Just the amount of water
water you use.
You get
You
some,
don't itemize some of the other aspects? I think that's what you're asking for eventually.
Yeah.
You mean on the bill? Is that what you meant? You mean on a bill that
On
we
the
get?
bill, so that
Yeah,
the homeowners know, or the
Yeah.
residents know what they're paying for, and
yeah. No, I don't think it's that.
I think water's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
water's not a big deal, no water is a big
Well,
deal.
that too.
I think we have to realize that we have a $40 million asset, and it's gonna take a lot of money to maintain it.
Yeah, and I think
And we're not-
60 million, not
We're not comparable to Afton or Fairview. I mean, we've got larger lots, we've got different terrains. It's an expensive system. And,
It has to be maintained.
and it has to be maintained, or we're gonna be running,
If you got that much invested, you sure as hell would, somebody would maintain.
and I don't know if we create some type of fund for people that, can't afford all of it.
Can't do that. Law
Can't
says
do that.
is.
Gotta be the same for everybody. Okay.
That's state statute.
Yeah,
State
and
statute.
there are some, cause I know the Lower Valley Energy sends out,
Mhm.
if they can help. So there might be a state fund that could help, but as a town, we
Yeah.
can't discount, I don't think.
That you're correct.
Yeah,
We can't.
yeah, but I think the state
I
may.
was
Well,
arguing,
there's-
I was arguing, they said we're the richest town in the state. And I said, yeah, and we got some of the poorest people living there.
Yeah,
So I said, you can't tax me based on the value of the ability of the rich people. You gotta consider the poor people. Let me have a dual rate level. Boy, did I get kicked out of that meeting. The word was no and hell no.
but, down in Arizona, Pine and Strawberry up there,
Yeah.
they had an old system and nobody wanted to pay anything
They
for
still
it.
have a lot of problems.
And it got to the point to where they couldn't deliver water because there were so many leaks. And so at that point, what is the value of your property?
But we were
And
going
it's
to-
hard to find water up there.
What's that?
And it's hard to find water up there.
Yeah,
At least you got water here, it's a matter of managing it.
but, we've got to provide the money to maintain this system. And it might be painful, but it's gotta be done, we have to realize that.
Another
Look-
thing I found other towns do is they, have things like, if your lot is, and I know most of our lots are about the same, but if your lot is bigger, or if you're gonna put in a sprinkler system, they charge more for those fees at,
Tiered rates.
tiered rates. Which at least, it was quite a bit, actually, by
Yeah.
thousands of dollars that they were charging. And so we might have to use that as an option.
That's an option,
Granted, that's
too.
usually a one-time fee, but it's something, and if we're,
You're,
That's great. So just 4,000 square feet of grass.
having done that in a different state, that required 2 different meters. So I paid 2
no,
different
it's one
meters.
fee at the beginning, it was like a tap fee
Okay.
type, I don't know
Yeah,
how you
but
would
the tiered
do.
rates would be ongoing, so if you, say, go over 12,000 gallons a month,
Oh, well, I got you
then the
there.
rates would
Yeah,
increase.
it gets more expensive the more you
25,000
use.
gallons a month, then the rates increase even more.
That
So
was different than what I
it
discussed, but
limits
that's
the
good.
amount of water that they will use.
I saw your tiers up there. What is your top tier?
100,000 gallons plus a month, and we charge $7.86 a gallon.
And see, we
Or
have
7.86
lots that
per
are
thousand.
using a great deal of water compared to ones that aren't. I'm wondering if it shouldn't be tiered at some point, where we shouldn't do something like that, instead of just saying, oh, well, it's all the same, no matter how much you use.
This
Yeah.
is the cheapest water bill I've ever paid.
Would you put that in writing?
I'll put that in writing. Not many people will say that. They say,
Well, I
"Oh
saw-
my God, this is so
The
much
highest
more."
water bill I ever paid in a different state was $400 a month.
Well, we're getting, a couple of customers are getting pretty close to that. They're-
And I saw a figure from American Water Works that said the average bill in the United States is $125.
Yep.
And if you calculate it, if you use that same calculation on our town, using our town numbers, it's about $170 a month, average.
Well, we're also only 20 years old. I'm like, this just started, so I think that's another thing to take it, I mean, cause in less than a decade, we'll definitely be over 100. You know, I mean, to
Well, let
offset
me go
things.
back to another philosophical thing that we're not talking about. And that is higher rates cause less green, more, burn weeds, things like that, higher fire, less fire insurance, et cetera, et cetera. Just a thought to remember. Higher rates cause less usage. Lower rates cause more usage. Our usage is so cheap for the amount of water we charge, what we charge for the use of the water, that it's infinitesimal amount of money that we would receive as a town by raising the water fee, you know, the price per gallon. So, because most of ours is in the base fee, which says you're gonna pay whether you use it or not. So to look at tiered rates on usage for us doesn't make sense unless you get up to a really more commercial, higher volume uses.
I do feel like we have some that were higher, though, that's what I'm saying. I think we do have enough that if, it would at least help.
What would it help though? I'm just saying, take a pen and pencil to it and take 22 and 25 cents is now.
$2.25 a thousand.
Yeah, 225 times that, double it, make it 44, 45 times it, and see how much money we get from 10% of the meters using 20% more water. And then when I come down to it, the money in your pocket is virtually none.
Well,
And
that's
our-
what I'm saying, we do have a few actually that are way over even 20,000, it's like,
And I don't understand those, why
it's,
Only a few.
no, I felt like it was quite a
Bad
few
news, it's a bad
actually when
news
I
on
looked
the
at
other
it,
side.
so, and I got those numbers last year, so I can look them up and make
Did we
sure.
ever settle with the association on what we were doing? Cause they were claiming we were charging them twice what we should have, and we were saying we were charging them half. Did we ever resolve that?
Oh, from last year,
We
right.
cut some lines. They're no longer filling the swimming pool off of a non-metered.
If I ask the association, what would they say? That
They're saying, the
they're getting more-
association is gonna tell you that we're ripping them off like crazy. But see, that's also a problem because they're using more water than they're supposed to. And the septic tank for the clubhouse,
Yeah,
you knew that one was coming
I
too.
did, yeah.
Okay, I'd like everyone to think our next meeting is October 28th. How do we get creative with getting a consistent flow of funds into the reserves so that we can, look out 5 years and see what our needs are and start accumulating the money for it? I think that's the most important thing, is the consistency of it, and then determining exactly how much we need.
We have some big expenses coming down the road.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure out how to fund them.
Do you guys get grants and things like that?
We used to.
Not anymore?
Well, we have a master plan, and in the master plan, it says our efficiency stinks. And I'm
Because-
afraid our funding state funding, guys, read those.
Because of that, you don't qualify.
They may not let us qualify. I mean, we've been fighting, trying to get all this stuff fixed so we can qualify.
I don't know if you saw
But
this,
that isn't,
the Jackson Hole Daily, cuts have $50 million impact. The great big beautiful bill cut, royalties on coal. And the state will lose $50 million from that, and that's the source of a lot of our forgiveness of loans. So, that's just coal. They also cut from
Natural
oil and
gas.
gas,
Yeah, natural gas is on there too.
yeah. So anyway, I'd like to come up with some creative thinking, how we do it. I presented my idea of doing a system development fee. See if there's anything else out there. Let me just mention a couple of things that are on the agenda here before we close. What would you think if we did a recommendation to ask the sheriff to go around and inspect our physical facilities and their vulnerability to vandalism?
Please don't. Please don't. I know one that's extremely vulnerable.
Well, but should we not ask? Should we not have that
You can
information?
go ahead and have him ask. There's one that's really vulnerable. We'll leave it at that.
I think
And then-
I think there's more than one.
Well, I
Then
know
what?
one that's really bad.
Then also, do we need someone to look at our cybersecurity?
That should be the new SCADA.
Yep,
Should be
SCADA has got that one pretty much taken care of. Cause we're gonna be on our own system, we're not gonna be,
But right now, whoever is taking care of the SCADA right now, Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
needs to look at all of the Cisco, any of your Cisco devices. We just received an alert on Monday from the CISA, which is the new counter,
so anyway, is,
cybersecurity for the US and the EPA, that they've been compromised. So if we use Cisco for any of the communication devices, any of the network switches, anything like that, they need to be looked at.
Because the North
one
Koreans
of the biggest ones.
and the Chinese seem to be interested in water systems
Yes,
and in hacking into them.
so Steve, if you wanna do the, eval for security of the water system, like the actual physical facilities, you guys should probably vote to recommend that to the council, and then, I mean, I think it's a great idea, but you probably need approval, it's not something where you reach out to
Yeah.
the sheriff on your own.
I so move, we recommend.
Okay?
Can you second it?
something else has been,
No, I have a motion, Joe, you second it?
to, what am I seconding? I've been thinking about something else.
No, we do it, physical certain, ask the sheriff to do a physical security
Okay,
check.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we recommend to the town council that we ask the sheriff to do an inspection of our physical facilities to detect
Physical water.
water facilities to detect our vulnerability to vandalism. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank
All
you.
right, we'll write up that recommendation. What about cybersecurity? We need to research that a little bit.
Yeah, if Cisco has been hacked, yeah, there's problems.
okay.
Do you guys have anything up there?
We were using some Cisco, and we went and replaced it on Monday once we got it working.
Oh, did you?
We pulled out our network switches and switched some of our backups, which weren't Cisco. And we changed out our VPN from a Cisco AnyConnect to a separate VPN.
So
Cisco's well used across
Yes.
everything.
do you
Who is-
wanna check and
you
see if
want,
we are
cause
in any Cisco systems?
Yeah, that would probably be good, I can do that, and then, I don't know when we're gonna switch to Simply SCADA.
What's that?
Exactly, I don't know when
This
it
stage,
switches
since we
to
are in
Simply
contract
SCADA.
with,
Like the
Simply
exact date?
It's
SCADA,
like 6 weeks out.
with them.
That's when we'll
Well, then,
switch
do
over.
you want me to ask Trevor if you guys need to make a
What we
motion? Do you
sh-
wanna just make the motion for
What
the
will be
computer,
delivered,
cyber,
we'll
and then
take
if
that
we
into
don't need it,
consideration.
that's good
There,
too?
that's
You know
what
what I'm saying?
Cause I didn't know who had that kind of knowledge to even do it. Hope they do.
They have to.
So do we know somebody that would be able to look at our systems and see?
Well, the water system, since we're under contract to get the new water system in, we'll make sure that when we get that, it is secure, safe. We're already secure, safe, but the Cisco piece raises a new question, because Cisco is nationwide and like,
Yeah,
So I can ask what
Scary.
we use in the system that's Cisco, but the Simply SCADA, from what I read that Trevor had handed out and stuff, it looked like it was a lot better as far as
It's-
like
yeah, but we-
cyber safety and stuff.
cyber safe, we now just gotta make sure that they're not doing anything with Cisco. Thanks for that update.
and do we have people like having personal emails on town computers and things like that?
Or what do you mean, like, oh, downstairs and such? you
Yeah.
mean? That's a Trevor question probably, because he's their boss, so I'm not sure.
Let me put it this way, we shouldn't,
Has anybody looked at it?
Does anybody ask?
it's a good question.
I mean, that's a real simple way to get into it.
Yes, it is.
System is, if somebody has their email and you get them to respond to an email, you've just corrupted the system. So do we have a motion for cybersecurity as well, or should we make it into one?
No, let's do two of them, so if they turn one down, they gotta turn two down. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we recommend to the town council that we also evaluate the cybersecurity of the water computer systems. All in favor?
Can I make,
Sure.
I can't make a motion, I'm sorry.
Recommend it.
You want to
Can I
recommend?
make a recommendation
Mm-hmm.
that you change that from the water piece to the installed, Simply SCADA system is secure? Because that will be the whole,
That would be the,
Water
that would be the basis of it, yeah.
yeah, and that's, since that is being developed now, we've got better,
So modified.
Okay,
You gotta-
second that.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
One more, the thing that keeps nagging at me is hearing Taylor say that we haven't done any maintenance on our system forever, and that's why it's in such bad shape. So how do we fix that? Is our water operator so fractured, working on road stuff or other things that they don't have time to
they're
worry
not,
about maintaining our system?
they're not working on road stuff. They are strictly working on the water stuff.
Dig it up.
But the water stuff has gotten to the point where it's been on the crazy side. And we are in the process of upgrading everything that we find. We're looking at it. That's the reason I'm asking that we get some kind of a input from the water board as to what we need to be doing and when. I mean, Boyd, you handed out at the last meeting, here's how often things should be done. I already know pumps are coming in close to the 10,000 hour type thing. Something's gotta be done on them. The generator and everything over on that well is now up to date. We brought somebody in, cleaned that one up. With the new SCADA system, that means all of the electronic and stuff dealing with the system will be updated, and the new transponders will be in place. Till we get the meters in and get them functioning, we're still gonna be running off of questionable water input.
Yep.
That should be happening very quickly.
We're not working off it because we're not getting any of it.
Yeah.
So we're running blind right
We
now.
used to, every so many years, go up and inspect all of our tanks, and now we find out that this seam was there for 15 years or 20 or whatever, and is bad.
Yes. something like that.
You bring it,
Go ahead.
you asking us to do those things.
No, I'm asking you to give us some kind of guidelines that I can give to my water crew here, cause they're new, they're level ones and they're brand new,
Yeah.
and they don't know what,
Okay, if we can get that list of components, we can look at
I'll go home.
Boyd's list of
Forward that to you tonight.
light.
That list, by the way, Dan, I took yours and the AWAs and you knew what I
Yeah,
did. Blended them, so they're all,
it's pretty close, it was,
yeah, there's not a lot of variation, okay? And send that back to you.
Okay.
It would help me, and I guess would help the board, if we knew a better picture of where our council is and what they knew we should be doing. You know, we get a couple of things here and here, but you're asking us to help you, but we need some help too. Primarily, your priorities on some of this stuff. Not from an operations standpoint, but from the board standpoint, because, and I'm going back to this leak test. I was told you don't have time to do it. And so we said, well, let's find somebody that can do the whole thing and not involve us at all. But they won't touch our system. That's the reason we need the operator that one night to turn the valves on and off. We've got enough money in there, we can pay those guys overtime to have them do it. And then all of a sudden, you've got all that data. And it has nothing to do with input and output, nothing else. It's an isolated area. And as I talked to those two ladies, I said, what we want, the product we want is to be able to hand the operation side of the deal. Here is a list of leaks, prioritized by estimated size. They don't have to fix them at all, unless somebody tells you to. They don't have to fix them this year, or next year, or the next year. But if you want to fix a leak that has a massive deal, and that costs you $11,000 to do it, that's what we need to understand. Because apparently it has no priority for the council to do that.
Well, it does, cause we budgeted for it, and I think that's
You
what.
budgeted for it, and yet.
And we are doing it, we have a fiscal year, it just started in July, those leaks have probably been going on for quite a while, so
Oh, yeah.
exactly, so I do agree, it's urgent and we do need to prioritize it, but we have other things that we've prioritized. Our guys are working overtime already.
It's not, they're
Zach
not
already
involved.
did overnight, like last weekend, because as Taylor said, our SCADA system went down, all of our tanks were low,
Okay.
they were doing overnight
You
that
can
night.
hire Ernie, who is an engineer working for our engineering firm, to turn those damn valves on and off. He's authorized to do it. It wouldn't take a single hour or a minute of this town's operational crew or management to be involved in that leak test.
So you feel like
I
that's
wanna
the
go.
most, no, you won't, so
I'm
it's fine,
confused.
don't say that.
I'm confused.
Okay, so you say that's the most urgent thing, they
It is
should
not the
stop
most- it is not
everything
the
and
most
do that.
urgent. I don't
Okay,
want you to
so
stop
it is,
anything.
but that's what they're saying, and like, it is prioritized, we are going to get it done, Boyd. I appreciate that you found the information to get it done. The
Who's
guys
gonna
are,
do it? Are we gonna do it ourselves?
well, no, obviously, we're probably gonna hire someone if we have the money allotted to do that. Like, that's what it was budgeted for.
I mean, yeah,
You know what,
I
you're,
understand your.
no,
we're so-
Boyd, I love
we're
that
so
you're like,
busy.
win.
No, we're so busy,
There are
we can't
so
do
many,
it. We're
no,
not busy.
I wasn't told there was busyness, I was told that they were prioritizing some other things before it, so that the numbers
What we
that
have
come
is
in.
We're too busy to do it. It's not a priority item. So, I'm going back to that, it's not a priority
But
item.
you are saying that you want us to drop everything and do it,
I don't
right?
want you to drop anything, I don't want anybody to drop anything. That water board can say, we recommend you do this. Now, the five of you gotta say yes, and then you're out of the picture
We
until
already
come.
did, but we have a town administrator who is trying to keep a handle on everything.
Well,
So you
he
have to let him
he's
do
too
his
busy.
job.
He's too
He's
busy.
not too busy,
Like
he
I
has
said earlier.
prioritized it.
Until we get the SCADA system up and going, and we get the input valves meters to where they're supposed to be,
Tanner, I understand what you're saying, it's just that you and I have a different way
Yep.
of doing things. You have them doing them 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want 2 and 3 done together, and 1 and 5 done.
But I don't know that we need to have a leak test done
Sir,
if we get the other stuff in place.
okay, I hope that's recorded.
It is.
On the deal.
I
I'll
think,
let it go. All I'm asking you for is give us some priorities that you want to see, that when we do them, you'll take action on.
I'll give
I
you,
didn't request, I was told that nobody requested you guys to actually go and find someone for the leak detection. In fact, I was first, like, questioned, like, did I implicate something? I didn't, and as far as I know, none of the council did, and none of the mayor did before you guys already started it. It is a priority, we budgeted for it, I
This was all
too want it done.
This was all done in the last 10 days.
Well, I got lectured on it like a month ago almost, a good 3 weeks ago, so I don't know, I was told that something was already started by the water board before it was actually told they could.
We had the Wars Association band trying to help us. He was the one, it was a
By
casual
who
conversation.
requesed that?
It was a casual
That's what I'm saying, you
conversation.
guys are
How
doing
many
things
times do
without.
we
I
have
got called in on it too, so.
Fittings
Oh,
that
did
are
you? Man, I got an earful.
loosely
anyway.
tightened before we believe that there's leaks in our system.
I feel like there is leak, that's why I budgeted for it.
Yeah,
I do agree,
So we believe there's
it's
leaks,
urgent.
but yet we don't wanna test
I believe
for
there's
them.
probably been leaks for years. I have
We
other
can do it
things.
with contract labor,
Mm-hmm.
which takes 0 away from the town,
We enough
and
to budget,
still
we can-
well within the budget,
Yeah.
but we don't wanna do it, and yet we believe there are leaks.
So was
It just
Vista and it's
doesn't
still
make
not
sense.
paved. I mean, I'm just saying, like, so was Vista and it's still not paved. And we were getting bids for that and to do that. We
Shoot,
are
not our
trying to
problem.
prioritize it. I know, right? But that's what I'm saying, like, we are prioritizing things. I agree, none of this stuff happens fast enough for me, Boyd. I am so on board with the way you feel right now, you have no idea. But I'm also learning, like, it doesn't matter how much I keep saying it, it doesn't get done. And I just want you to know, like, what you have done is appreciated, yeah. And what you guys have done, I appreciate that, but I also will say, I didn't even know you guys requested to
Can
do
you
any
give
of
us
that.
some priorities that you really think are serious and that need to be done? And I would assume this,
meters,
meters.
SCADA, residential meters. Then the big one that's coming down the line is the delivery from the spring and the Prater tanks.
Okay.
Which is priority?
Please, why in the hell do you wanna do the residentials before you do a leak test?
Because we've got to get those meters straightened around. And in addition,
You don't
it's
listen.
costing us 36 man days a year to read the meters. That we will get back without it.
Who reads the meters now?
We have to drive around the
No,
whole,
I understand. Who does it?
the water crew.
Why?
Who else is gonna end up doing it?
We use the, SMO all the time to do it. The SMO did all the meter readings, so we didn't use our people paying that much money.
Okay, and then the ones that don't get read when they drive around, somebody has to go out and open them all up.
Even in the winter, has to dig them out and see
We
it.
had the SMO do all of that.
What is that?
Huh?
What is SMO?
This, Jim,
SMO.
Yes,
Oh, the SMO, sorry, you and abbreviations got me all over the place. I'm like, SMO, who the heck is that? Okay, I know, I'm sorry. Okay, I hear you. But
No,
still, then
it's
he's
just-
out of commission to do it.
frustrating. I'm sorry.
It is frustrating. I'm with you. We agree on something.
Yes, we do. We're all-
I know, I'm teasing.
so do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting, all in favor?
Aye.